Welcome to Clappia. In this video, we shall learn how to capture simple information or short text for your application with the help of the single line text block that is available in Clappia. Let's see how to use this better with the help of a simple example. Now I will be creating an application right from the beginning. So let's click on New App first. Now let's say I want to make an application where I will be visiting a customer and then capture certain information about them like their name or email ID. Now this is the design app of the application where I will be building it. So the first thing I want to do is give a name to our application, say customer visit, just a simple name. Now I will click on add section, and on the right hand side I can give a name to the section, say customer details, where all the details I want to capture will fall under the section. Then I click on add field, then I will click on the single line text block. This block can be configured on the right hand panel that has appeared over here. There are basic and advanced options to configure. So let's see how to use this. So the first thing I do will be to capture the name of the customer. So I will give that under label name and click on save. I also want to add additional fields with the single line text block. So say over here, I will put email. Now I'll click on another add field, another single line text block to maybe capture the zip code of the customer. I'll add another field for maybe capturing the number of times I visit this customer. Click on save. The final field may be for customer requirements if they might have any. Just this and click on save. Now let's see how to use the basic and advanced options. So the first thing I'll do is I'll click on email and let's see how to configure this particular block. Over here we have something called as description. So this is usually to let a user know what exactly they are filling in a field. So say over here I will mention, please mention email ID. Then we have something called as default value. So this is again to give an example of what a person needs to fill in. You may or may not need to fill this block. It is entirely up to you. But just for demonstration, I'll be filling it over here. Now there's another thing called required. So for example, if you do not want any users to submit a form without skipping this field, sometimes it can happen that they might miss out. So you can enable this option to mark it as required. So when they submit, they cannot submit it without filling in this particular field. So I'll click on save. Now coming to the advanced options, there is something called as validation. When you click over here, you'll see a number of validation rules that can be set. So since I clicked on the email field, you can see that there is an email option here. So a person can only fill in a valid email ID. No random text or numbers can be filled in. Now click on save. Similarly, if I click on zip code and go to the advanced options, under validation, I can give a number. So no text can be entered. Click on save. We can also have custom validation. So say for example, when I click on number of visit, go to the advanced option, and in validation, I click on custom. So over here, you can see two more blocks have appeared and you can set the custom validation according to your requirements. Now, if you have used Excel, I'm sure you must be familiar that there is something called as logic and conditions that can be applied. The same thing Clappia can also use. We share the same library, so whatever syntax is used in Excel, you can use in Clappia as well. The only difference is, in place of cell numbers, we have the concept of variable names, which you can find at the top of every field in brackets. So the way you get variable names over here is by typing in @ and in the field name, and you can see it automatically comes up over here, equals to, or say for example, the number of visit should be more than 0. So when a person is filling in these details, he has to have made at least one visit. So put in greater than 0. You can also give custom error messages according to what you need. So you can mention something like, please visit the customer at least once. And then you can click on save. Next, say for example, once a visit has been done, you want this particular field, the customer requirement field, to automatically show up. if he hasn't made a visit, this field will not be appearing on the application. So how do we do that? So when we click on customer requirement, you can go to advanced. There's an option that says display this field if. So again, you can give logic and conditions over here as well. So I can type in @ number of visits. That means if number of visit is greater than 0, only then should this field customer requirement should show up. We will see that soon how that works. The final thing is allow value to be changed after initial submission. So if a user has made a submission, later on you can view all the details that he has submitted. Now if you do not want any user or anybody to make any changes later on, you can have this option as disabled. Click on save. Now all this has been configured. Let's see how the application actually works. We go to app home. You can see that all the fields has appeared here except for customer requirements. So I will just be giving random field names over here. You can see that the default value has been mentioned, what we have given earlier, and the description as well underneath. So I will just give in a random email ID for sake of demonstration. Over here, if you type in random text, you can see that we have configured this as a number only. So you can only mention valid numbers. Next one is a number of visit. If you click on 0 and click on submit, you can see that there's an error message that says please visit the customer at least once. That is because we have given a custom validation. Now if we put in 1 or at least any number apart from 0, then you can see the customer requirement block has appeared over here. You can type in some value, requirements. Now we can click on submit. We can view all our submissions on the submissions tab, and the moment the submission tab loads, you can click on any submission and view all the details on the right hand panel that has appeared over here. Now if we scroll at the bottom over here, you can see all the details that we have put in the fields. Now if you want to download any of these details, you can always click on the download option and it will download in an Excel sheet. Similarly, if you have multiple submissions, everything will be downloaded and will be able to view it. Now if you have any queries regarding configuration of the single line text block or any features in general in Clappia, you can always request support by clicking on this option over here, or you can email us directly to support@clappia.com and we will be happy to assist you. Thank you.